All right, welcome back. Now I want to respond on this stream to Pitbull advocate Stephanie Saunders. And I want to say first, this is not an attack. This is not personal. I've responded to several Pitbull advocates, several dog trainers, and other experts. Ma'am, you made some remarks publicly to the media that's false. You shared false information. This is not even about you personally. It's about your business. As an expert, as I said many times, I expect the best advice from the experts. I expect the truth. More than anything, we all, I think, deserve the truth from all of our experts. We don't deserve to be lied to. And it's people's willingness to be lied to, mistreated, endangered. That is what makes the world a bad place. Sitting back with your mouth closed as you're being endangered, threatened constantly. Okay, we have to reject being lied to. That's first of all. You have to get over that first. And there's not enough people who have a serious problem and speak out against being lied to by our experts. I don't want to be lied to by random people, period. But definitely not by our experts. Now, this video surfaced yesterday. Listen to this.
Here in Washington, Iowa, the Paws and More Animal Shelter welcomed 3 dogs from Ottumwa, saving them from possibly being euthanized. The city of Ottumwa seized these animals because their owners violated the ban on pit bulls.
Sit.
Good boy, ready?
Good. Well, and
2 of the dogs, Buddy and Marcus, are still waiting for adoption. Stephanie Sanders is the co-director of Iowans Against Breed Bans, and she believes dogs should be judged by their behavior and not their breed.
We don't agree that any local government should be able to tell you what kind of dog you can have.
Sanders says breed bans vilify pit bulls and force owners to seclude or abandon their animals.
It's time to focus on the facts instead of what they've been perceived to be for so many years.
Amber Talbot is the executive director at Paws and More. She says a dog's behavior isn't tied to their genetics, but in how
I'm sorry, Amber Talbot.
Behavior isn't.
This response, my response, is directed to you as well. She also gave input. Okay? This is the thoughts or comments of Amber Talbot. Listen again.
What they've been perceived to be for so many years.
Amber Talbot is the executive director at Paws and More. She says a dog's behavior isn't tied to their genetics, but in how they're raised.
dog bites come from animals that are not spayed and neutered and that are housed inappropriately and primarily living on chains.
Talbot.
Okay. So, again, you heard that. So the dogs that attack people were not living inside the home. All the dog attacks you've ever heard in your life
Housed inappropriately and primarily living
comes from dogs being housed inappropriately and not being spayed and neutered. Okay? So she's saying that all of the dogs that have launched an attack on people, none of them were spayed or neutered. And she's saying also, if that's not the case, then those dogs were chained up outside and neglected. Ma'am, if your stance is different than that, now, you're the one that said it. You're the one that said it. If you said more than that and the media didn't include it, go ahead and fill us in.
housed inappropriately and primarily living on chains. Animals that are not spayed and neutered and that are housed inappropriately and primarily living on chains.
Okay, so also, what tells you what? Nobody's giving it love. They're not treating it like a human, right? We've heard this before thousands of times. Again, this is not even personal, but Stephanie said, I'm questioning your expertise.
Talbot understands how stories of dog attacks can create fear, but she says banning pit bulls...
Is that reasonable? Is it reasonable to fear something that could delete you? I mean, what? You're talking as if it's unreasonable to fear something, to avoid something that's actually able to delete you. Okay, we'll unpack it a little more. I just want y'all to hear the whole thing. It's not that long.
Hasn't solved problematic animal owners.
Pit bull type looking dogs are very...
Let me back that up. Y'all hear that?
Understands how stories of dog attacks can create fear, but she says banning pit bulls hasn't solved problematic animal owners.
Pit bull type looking dogs are a very small percent of all of the at-large dog problems and dog nuisances in their community.
But as long as
What?
Animal owners.
Pit bull type looking dogs are a very small percent of all of the at-large dog problems and dog...
At-large dog problems. What is an example of an at-large dog problem? A dog attack. Dogs roam in the neighborhood. One of the problems they present to the public is physical attacks. That has to be what you're talking about. You're telling me bully breeds account for a very small percentage? No, they don't. They account for a significant percentage. What are you talking about? Can you please provide your sources? And I'm not, reaching away in some monk safe buried in the mountains. This is information available to you. Share your sources. Okay, let's continue. This is bad. This is bad already.
Nuisances in their community.
But as long as Ottumwa has...
And aside from that, that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant if they account for 65% of fatalities, when they account for the majority of attacks in general, especially hospital stays. What good does it, how are you defending the breed by pointing out that they make up a small percentage of dogs at large and causing problems, which is not true? Okay, let's continue.
The ban on pit bulls, the Paws Shelter will try to ensure pet owners have them as an option, but there's only so much room.
We try to always say...
How virtuous, huh? You gonna bend over backwards, blood, sweat, and tears to make sure as many of these are in communities as possible? That is very troubling.
Here in Washington, Iowa...
That's scary. It's like, what are you doing? You at war with humanity or something?
Animals, because they're only... Two of the dogs, Buddy and Mind.
We don't agree that
Dogs should be judged by their behavior and not their breed.
Their behavior is dictated by their breed. Because they're bully breeds, fighting breeds, bred for fighting, bred to kill, they're quicker to attack. And they were bred to not show signs, all connected to the breed. Always looking for a fight. And they don't stop. That's also connected to their breed. What are you talking about? Other dogs will give up, cease attack. But with bully breeds, the attack is still underway when the cops show up. They don't stop. That's breed-related behavior. Okay? Am I being clear? There's more. Look at the muscles, the strength, shape of his head, this blocky head, bigger, wider mouth. It's to inflict more damage. That's connected to their breed. They seem to release more pain-killing chemicals when they launch an attack. Because when you hit them, smack them even with a hammer, they don't stop. That's breed related. When you hear there's a dog attack underway and people are smacking it with baseball bats and the dog's still attacking, I guarantee you it's a bully breed. This is what I'm talking about. The fall of y'all's profession. It was bound to happen when it's based on so many lies. Lying is not the way.
We don't agree that any local government should be able to tell you what kind of dog you can have.
Sanders says breed bans vilify pit bulls and force owners to seclude or...
No. The statistics that they produce vilify them. Their behavior vilifies them. I don't get that. It sounds like a lie without actually lying, without saying anything, without saying it directly. There has to be a name for that.
Pit bulls and force owners to seclude or abandon their animals.
It's time to focus on the facts instead of what they've been perceived to be.
What facts? How about statistics? Do those facts count? Do the testimony from doctors and hospitals count? Do the basic information on how these dogs are structured in their behavior count? Ma'am, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, ma'am? I'm worried for you, ma'am.
Abandon their animals.
It's time to focus on the facts instead of what they've been perceived to be for so many years.
Amber Talbot is the executive director at Paws and More. She says a dog's behavior isn't tied to their genetics, but in how they're raised.
How they're raised.
Dog bites come from animals that are not spayed and neutered and that are housed inappropriately and primarily living on chains.
So, bam. You telling me there has never been any dogs that have been spayed, neutered, and brought up inside the home that have attacked people? I've gone over more of those types of attacks than I can remember. And any of you can find them for yourselves. The experts even came out and said, spay, neuter, it will be most effective shortly after it's done. And then it will fade away and the dog will go right back to how it normally was. Why would you say something like that without checking the facts first? Since you bringing up facts, you referred to facts. Are you saying that dogs raised inside have never launched it? Wow. I am very curious to where you got this information from, ma'am. See, this is just a citizen requesting sources from the experts. Wow.
Animals that are not spayed and neutered. And
tied to their genetics, but in how they're raised.
dog bites come from animals that...
Now, saying that the dogs that are chained outside are the ones who launch these attacks, that's also her way of saying that you have to raise it as if it's a human child. That's proven to fail, ma'am. And you know full well There has to be some intact dogs in the world for dogs to exist. You're not an advocate for spay and neutering every single dog on the earth. Stop it. You know full well intact dogs are going to be and always have been a part of the dog pet culture. So you got how many intact dogs that were raised inside of homes, people, have launched attacks, not only on neighbors, but on the own owners and owner's family as well. Ma'am, listen, I'm going to show some understanding here. Most of you have never even thought of a channel being based on criticizing, examining dog culture. And many of you never thought that a group of people would analyze your words. Now, I said IHD versus, because I want to speak for myself. Let me just say I represent the dog culture critics community. I come from it. I was created by it. Okay? I'm not the mouthpiece. I'm not the spokesman. Because I say things quite often that several people disagree with. But ma'am, now you know. People are examining the things that you say. And you're saying things that are easily proven to be false. Do you really want to keep saying it? How about this? Say something else. Change your rhetoric. The facts don't support it. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And listen, I'm not even going to go over all the dogs that fit the description you gave that went on to launch attacks. Check my channel. You've never seen channels like this. That's all I cover, man. I cover dog attacks. Now, since we're here, you heard that she has a website, Iowans Against Breed Specific Legislation. This is her website. Now look at this. Which organizations support ending BSL in Iowa? And it's just Iowa alone. Look at that. Now, we always talked about how these are fronts when they say animal rescue, humane society, animal welfare, and all this kind of stuff. Animal rescue. No, it's all about dogs. And look at all these organizations that support bully breeds being in communities. Look at this insanity. Do you think they have this many organizations based on ending dog attacks, let's say bully breed attacks on young people? Let's compare the number of, and this is Iowa. Imagine what the other states look like. And thank you all, whoever put this together. I think it's Stephanie. Yeah, it's Stephanie's website. Thank you. Because this is incriminating. IowansAgainstBSL.com. Wait a minute here. Shout out to the dog culture critics. Good to see y'all in the house. There's a link to this website. That's scary to me. And you look at the icons, you can see how it's all about dogs. You have dog bias, and I have to point that out. Because, it would encourage you to be unreasonable. But I'm arguing that you're spreading misinformation. This is insane when you think about it. Looking at all of the damage that bully breeds cause in society. To still have this many groups of adults, many are parents. Scary stuff. And again, they don't even have the other organizations focused on ending these tortures, mutilations. The thing that their youngsters are going through is the exact same thing they won't tolerate dogs going through. Torture and deleted. But that's every single attack, and they make up the largest percentage of the victims. Not one organization aimed at ending that. This is why I say this is a primitive culture. It's primitive. How could you respect it? All of you boast about how evolved you are. Are you really? Being accepting of a filthy culture like this, a primitive, subhuman culture like this, where you favor dogs that specialize in deleting your young, torturing them. Insane. As much as I admire human beings, boy, y'all got a dark side, darker than the darkest. Like, it don't get any worse than this. And it really sounds like something out of Hollywood. Now I'm going to show y'all something else. This gets worse. This is Paws and More, the shelter that saved the pit bulls from being euthanized. They're about to shove these mutts in somebody's home and endanger more families, endanger more people in the community, and make them sicker and more unhealthy than they are now. Oh, what a service to the community. Look at the board of directors. Huh? Sad. Sad. And I don't care what nobody say. I can speak on white America. I grew up with white people. Ever since I was a preteen. Some white people I've known my whole life. Got them in my family. To sit back and watch them, so many of their women opt for dogs rather than kids, is scary. That is scary to witness. Oh, and I'm not going out on a limb. No. Relax. Miss Saunders also sells shirts. You want to see them? You want to see some of them? Here's one. Kids, you say? I'll stick with dogs. Guess what? She also claims to be a parent. According to her, she's a parent. Here's another one. These are shirts that she sells. Childless dog lady for Kamala. Again, this is sad and scary to see. Nobody points at this dog culture as a big reason for the decline of their numbers. This is what, 65, 70% of the United States dog lovers? And this is a mother producing and selling this content? That is insane. Now, this is her Instagram. And I'm telling you, dogs. Honestly, when I looked at this, I thought she was childless. Because I found this after I found her paraphernalia. Not paraphernalia. The shirts that she sells. Not paraphernalia, the shirts that she sells. Look at the dogs. She's dogged out. She dogging. What set you claim? Huh? Doggo Street. Look at this. Things I love in order. My kids. Really? Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What up with them shirts? What if they see this? That ain't funny. Okay. Let me not go in that direction. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go to the behavior of these bully breeds in Iowa. Okay? Bottom line is, they lead the pack. Somebody get admitted in the hospital, it's almost 100% guaranteed they were attacked by a bully breed, ma'am. Those are the types of hard facts you're up against. Do you really want that type of fight? I wouldn't want to argue that. This surfaced this year, back in June. See that title?
The Pottawatomie County Sheriff's Office says a deputy shot a dog. This happened on Wednesday around 3:30 in the afternoon. Deputies say the dog was loose and tried to bite a juvenile. After the deputy got the dog away from that person, he followed the dog in his car. The sheriff's office says as the deputy was checking out the uninjured young person, the dog returned and
Okay, we get it. This surfaced, and you saw them show this on that news clip. Why? I don't know why they showed it. This was back in May of this year. 9-year-old severely injured in pit bull attack. It's in Ottawa, the same city. Like, y'all remember this story? Iowa mother loses both legs, needed facial reconstructive surgery. This is December last year. Attacked by 3 pit bulls. Cop had to shoot him dead. So in the face of all this, in the midst of all this, pit bulls doing the same thing. And when I say pit bulls, I mean all bully breeds doing the same thing in your state, in your city, that they're doing in other states and cities, which is leading in dog attacks, leading in fatalities, leading in extensive hospital stays. I've read reports, shared testimony from doctors. One hospital said 100% of patients here 7 days or more, they were attacked by a bully breed. 100%. How do you explain that? Like, why would you even try to defend creatures that produce statistics like bully breeds do? Now, look at this.
Attack. Deputies pulled over a driver. A deputy in Fremont County, Iowa, is recovering from a pit bull attack. Deputies pulled over a driver they believed was driving a stolen cart near Hamburg. And during the stop, a man from Arizona got out along with his 2 pit bulls. The sheriff says the dogs attacked a deputy, causing serious injuries. The driver, Troy Decker, was arrested and investigated.
Ma'am, we're talking about deadly creatures that launch lethal attacks on police officers and people. But they prefer 13 and under, all the way down to 0. That demographic, 13 and under, make up over half, or at least half, of all attack victims. You really want to advocate for creatures like that? It's more difficult for me to argue against dogs or all dogs. It's a whole lot easier to argue against pit bulls. Y'all have never had an argument, ma'am. Pit bull advocates, they never had a strong argument. And you strike me as a person who just wants to be a part of something. But y'all never look into how legit the argument for it is. This is sad. Don't do this to yourself. But I know you're going to continue doing your thing.
Investigation found that the man was driving a car stolen in Nebraska City, and authorities say the license plates were stolen in Clarinda.
So this joker used his pit bull as a weapon. Man, you cannot ignore facts. The facts and statistics say these are the most dangerous breed out there. The bull breed. They were bred to fight and kill and to not stop. Did y'all see that other story that surfaced here recently? Where this guy, I think I watched it with the members, and his girlfriend walking along their stroller. Here it is. And this happened recently. When did it surface? September 23rd, 2024. Dog attack in Spokane Sparks. Look at this.
Well, first on Nonstop Local, take a look at this video. A man was walking his dog in the Hilliard neighborhood when a group of dogs attacked him right out front the front yard where they live. Good evening, I'm Sean Owsley. That security video was provided to us from a neighbor Friday morning after she says she herself has made repeated attempts to contact authorities about the aggressive dogs. Nonstop Local's Adam Schwager has been tracking this situation throughout the day today. Good evening, Adam. What did you learn as you looked into this story?
Sean, Scraps is treating this as an aggressive dog situation, an aggressive dog investigation. They haven't gotten in touch with the owners yet, but if you take a look at this video, you can start to see a little bit behind the reason as to that aggressive dog investigation. You can see the dog come barreling through out of that.
You see how fast that dog ran out there, ma'am? Like on sight. That's breed-related behavior. This is also to the other young lady. They're quicker to launch attacks on other dogs. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. And you know another thing? Quite often, they're triggered just like this at the sight of a young person. The smaller they are, the more likely it is the dog will want to attack them as well. Another fact. Do you know the most attacked age demographic is between age 5 and 9? And no, those dogs are not being provoked. None of them. They're all unprovoked attacks. Do you know that?
A little bit behind the reason as to.
Now, what I want you to look at here is the owner who has not come out of the home yet. Now, understand, another dog came out. I don't know if y'all saw that. There were 2 dogs out there. There's one. I think that was 2. This came out there, so it was probably 3. There's another one, and there's the owner. Look at her. Look how worthless she is. Look at how worthless she is. Worthless. Worthless. Look at her. Look. Look. What's she doing? What's she doing? Worthless. That happens often. Were you the owner so scared you're reluctant to even try to stop your own dog? It's more likely y'all will do that when it's a bully breed. Come on, ma'am. And then y'all unable to stop the attack. It's not listening to you. And it's more likely to not listen to you if it's a bully breed. More facts. They're tasting blood. But it don't matter because you're going to be too scared to even get too close to it. This is a pattern. I don't care what you think about that. This is a pattern. Even men do it. You don't argue. Now, what if it was a poodle launching this attack? You think the owner would be quicker to try to stop it? You think they have less fear for a small dog? I mean, the person that dog would be attacking will probably punt it down the block. You wouldn't need to intervene. A kid between 5 and 9 would probably punt it down the block. It launched an attack on them. Wouldn't even need you. They'd probably punt it back to you. Punt it back inside your house. All right, let's get some volume. Finish this.
The victim jumps into action to protect his dog, starting to wail on the dog who came out of the yard and tackle it.
See that?
Then
See that stupid kick, and then ran away. See how worthless humans are when these things launch attacks? You don't advocate for something like that. And these supposed to be pets? And you advocating that they be inside the home where your family is, where young people are? No wonder over half of the victims are 13 and under. And when you got creatures willing and able to launch these attacks on youngsters not even 1 yet, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, are you out of your mind? That's what I'm wondering. When I see advocates of bully breeds, are you out of your mind? That is insane. No, we're not going to go down that route, ma'am.
Nowhere, a man flies from down the street to kick the attacking dog. Now, 911 was called, and Spokane Fire Department.
Look at how long the owner was just standing there looking dumb. Just watching it happen. Just worthless. Worthless. She pulled out a bucket of popcorn, didn't she? Worthless. This is a pattern. It's a strong pattern. It happens almost every time. Even when it's a man, he is extremely reluctant to really get in there and try to stop that attack. No. And look, you need firemen and all this. I remember when those 3 firemen, they was jumping on a vehicle, scared to death. Ma'am, all you dog pit bull advocates, all you bully breed advocates, I want y'all to understand something. The end of y'all's run is here. It's over. It's over. It's nothing but facts. Do your own search while I'm talking. Do your own search. Pit bull attack Iowa. Y'all have so many pit bull attacks there. I'm not even gonna go over all of them. Several fatalities. So you argue in favor of the creatures that carried out these crimes right here? Boy, this is all Iowa. This is insane. Ma'am, you need to check the statistics. I have another channel. I'm going to share a link with you. I have to do it a little later. Look for it in the comment section, where dozens of doctors gave their input on bully breeds. Do you know it wasn't until the bully breeds became popular that they started to see extremely mutilated victims? And you telling me bully breeds responsible for some 65-70% of fatalities? I understand. I believe it's higher than that. Because virtually every single person in a hospital for long stays who have severe injuries were attacked. Look at the style of attack. The hold and shake. Clamp down. It's so prominent. They've said that their jaw's locked. People have nicknamed it lockjaw. Oh, it locked its jaw. Hold and shake. Now, all dogs can do it, but it's most prominent in the bully breeds. You know that. These are all breed-related behaviors. Everything y'all say, everything y'all co-sign with is false. Y'all know it. I believe you know it. Look at this. Dad dies battling a dog. If the father can't protect you from these things, what are you gonna do? Dog mom? You're gonna stand there and watch like that lady did on that video. So no, how about we not advocate for these mutant, turd face, worthless, trash breed? How about we ban them? How about we ban all bully breeds right now and put all of them down? Let's humanely euthanize all of them. Again, that's the humane thing to do, because y'all have already euthanized far more than the entire dog population. So me suggesting that the government, and this should be a federal law, if you got a bully breed, you got to take it down and have it euthanized. How about we do that? That's something that makes sense and would make communities a whole lot safer. And that's just the first step. And look again, look at these crimes. This stuff is most of it is in Iowa. They passed a ban, and the ban is worthless, by the way. All pit bull bans are worthless. That's another thing. People have been attacked in Iowa by bully breeds since the ban, because they're being passed off as something else. We all know that that's how they do. Oh, this is not a pit bull. It's a Staffordshire Terrier. Oh, it's a Cane Corso. That's what they do. Oh, it's a boxer. All bully breeds. Oh, it's a Mastiff. Bully breeds. We know the games that y'all play. Look at this. Iowa cop shoots 3 dogs. I think I already talked about that. If these things are not a problem, why has your state already banned them? Oh, misunderstanding? How can you misunderstand simple information like I was attacked by a pit bull and maybe here it is and the cop had to shoot it? Some of this stuff is recorded in police reports. What are we misunderstanding, man? That's one of y'all tropes. They're misunderstood. Fill us in, please. And I'll land it there. Again, this is not personal, ma'am. I responded to several so-called experts. Now I have to scurry off to work. Big shout out to all of you. And big shout out to Seat cushion or something like that in the super chat. I missed them on my way out. And I will see y'all on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.